Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, one of the things that I wanted to share with you today is we're getting ready for the holidays, and not too many people are out fishing right now, is something that's becoming more and more a part of me, and it's important that I express this, I think. You know, when I was a kid, you know, we talk about how fishing answers a certain need with and it's a different need with all kinds of people. It can be a sport, a competitive sport. It can be something that gives you access to the outdoors and all the things that we've talked about. For me as a kid, fishing was I was really a hunter at the time, and that's what I became, somebody that was bringing home the bacon for the family. And that was an important part of what fishing was for me, to go out and harvest these fish and bring them home and provide us with more food that we could have to eat, because we didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid. And that was what it was about. And the joy I got from it was being able to come home and open my creel and show my family what I had brought to them. But this has changed over the years. And it was the same thing in the fall, because hunting was a huge part of my life in the fall, was going out and hunting for small game and birds and ducks and so forth, and again, helping the family have more food. But as time has gone on, through all my experiences in life, fishing has brought me a deeper awareness of the whole, of the incredible, joyous thing of life and all the life around me. And I've come to really respect everything that lives around us, you know, and it becomes very difficult for me to want to hurt anything or to end something's life. And so when I go fishing now, there are different rewards. It's based on that outdoor experience and the memories that fostered my whole love of fishing from the time I was a kid. And so one thing I want to do more as I go forward, I really want to try to take care of this resource. And I think to myself about the times that I was doing my TV show, Fishing Behind the Lines, where I would take soldiers or Marines or members of the armed forces that had given so much of themselves and gone into combat. And the things that they had experienced and seen really changed their life tremendously. And so many of them are suffering PTSD now. But one of the things that I observed from some of these people that have been in such horrific conditions is when they would catch a fish, they would hold those fish in front of them and just marvel at the beauty and the wonder of that precious life. They didn't want to take any life, and they were so careful. And some of them would actually bend down and kiss the fish and release it back into the water. And I know my friend Justin, who I've talked about before, Justin Waltz, was a Marine, and you're always a Marine, but he went through an awful lot. And one of the things that has come from all this is Justin absolutely adores and worships those fish. He feels they are so precious, and he would go to every step possible not to hurt any fish. And when he can release it and return it alive to the water, it means everything to him. And this is kind of how I want to lead my life going in the future. I think to all the times last year when I would fish the Grass River and I would catch a bass, and, you know, you're out there in the current, and I'm on unstable balance out there with the slippery rocks, and I catch the fish and I need to return it to the water, which means I got to take the hook out of its mouth. And so often, and I've mentioned this before on the radio, how using little hooks really are a detriment because they so easily get swallowed into their stomach. And I know that I've killed fish in it, you know, not intentionally, but by trying to release this hook. And so in the future, I'm going to do everything in my power not to hurt these fish. I don't want to kill anything. And this has become a real desire for me. And as I think, I'm sorry for all the fish that maybe I've harmed. And I've always talked about not about catch and release and how important that is. But it can be the most important thing in the world. But if we don't take the time and the care to try to really make sure that these fish are alive when we put them back in the water. It's really critical. And so what can I do to make this easier for these fish? Number one, I can stop using little hooks because I don't want them swallowing them. And that happens. And it's hard to get my hand down in some of these smaller fish's mouth and reach down into where their stomach is and try to get the hooks out. It's really difficult. And the second thing that I can do is start using barbless hooks. You know, barbless can make a huge difference because it's the barb that gets caught in their tissue and that rips them apart and that kills them. And if you use a barbless hook, it has nothing to attach to that tissue. And sure, it's going to be harder to land the fish. You got to use more skill. It becomes more of a challenge to you in catching the fish. But I highly recommend it. And the third thing, and I have done this and I've talked about it, is when you can avoid using treble hooks, you can take that treble hook off your lure and put a single hook on there. And it might affect the balance of the lure. It might not run the same in the water. These are things you got to try to adapt to. But if you use single hooks, it's going to be an awful lot easier to get them out of the fish's mouth and to be able to put that fish alive back in the water. So this is what I'm really looking forward to in the new year, of my actions to try to help preserve our fish more. And I think everyone could do this if it meant something like that to them. I think it's really important that when you handle your fish, you be really careful, because their protective immune system is basically the slime that covers their outside of their body. And when you handle them, you can rub that slime off so easily, and then they're prone to infection and everything that comes with that. But being aware of all this is really critical. I want you all to think about that as you enter a new year of fishing. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.